Hello, hello. This is a Pup in the Life, Friday, 7th of March. Spring has come, favorite countryside, and mom a bit on the lines of lots of physical stress, period time of the month, and a tiny, not fever, but flu. So, yeah, but also lots of enjoying and engaging with this growth moment of her birthday lately. Unfortunately, Mike has not is not with us today, but we're trying to do our best. We know you don't like AirPods, but we try to do our best to keep this podcast going, no matter the quality of the audio. So this podcast goes about something that mom is trying to do with her performance bettering, and in general how she's handling her ability to cope with situations. So mom is subscribed. So let's get the story long as it needs to be. So mom is subscribed to Mindvalley. This basically an app where you have, and a website where you have lots of courses, meditations, events even, and occasions to just develop yourself and educate yourself around health topics of performance bettering. So like relaxation, clarity of vision, meditation, focus, ability of creating your own objectives, everything that goes from how to sleep better to how to manage your finances better. And it's all made of experts, sometimes people that are just doctors, psychologists, financial advisors, like people, entrepreneurs, like people that have the skill sets and the qualities. Sometimes the line is thinner, let's say, between what they say they do and what they actually mean to do. But mom tries to really create a difference in how she perceives those things. But in general, she feels that the subscription has the value that's promised. And the thing about this is, mom has done a course on biohacking, and at some point Dave Asprey, who's considered the father of biohacking, says you shall look for what's neurofeedback. And the first level of bettering your mental performance and hack your brain is do meditation, and just spend time meditating, spend time even with eyes closed, and it's impossible to stop the mind from thinking, but we can do our best to help it rest a bit and to help us out when we really need it to be working on the task at hand. And second is EMDR, which mom doesn't really know a lot about. And third level is neurofeedback. And neurofeedback is basically this technique where you would have something connected on your brain, which is basically sensors, just like you would use for biofeedback, where some tension in form of waves, of electrical waves, is integrated in and is connected to your brain activity. So you have these things on your head, and you would simply connect this external stimuli and the internal activity of your brain. So there is lots of things to say about this, but let's just say it is a way to treat some conditions, including helping out with ADHD and some symptoms for neurodivergent people, and in let's say clinical environments. But it's also used to better performance of individuals, especially individuals who, like mom, display a certain type of, let's say, request and level of awareness, level of how many requests and how many times do you request those things to the brain is a lot of brain activity, for the work you do, for the performance level you ask yourself, etc., 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 which is probably higher. And if you listen to this podcast, you might be one of those too, with respect to other people in the work, probably most of the people. Nevertheless, just like talking therapy, this is considered as one of those things that is probably useful as a prevention of some conditions, as a prevention of stress, of anxiety, of common symptoms that we all experience, unfortunately, in our Western life today. And so it's something that basically, just to keep it very simple, everyone could benefit from. And so mom goes to a doctor who's apparently the best doctor in Italy that does this, psychologist, psychotherapist, expert in physiology, like an outstanding woman that really knows what she's doing, finds herself in a very good situation with this woman where everything is very clear. They do lots of assessments before. They do a quantitative, basically exam that measures the amount of waves that you have in your brain at the state of rest, etc., etc. So they have a clear situation. At some point, the doctor goes like, okay, this is the time where, actually go have some neurofeedback. And so she sends mom to another doctor that's closer to mom. And basically this doctor says, I feel I'm not experienced enough in treating patients that just need performance bettering. Ciao Vergola! Ciao ciao! And that don't have serious or moderate symptoms of anything. Ciao! Guarda cos'ho! Ho un biscottino! Ah, with a cookie I come. And so he basically says, you're feeling too well for me. And so I'm not sure that my therapy is gonna work. So at the end of the day, mom just finds somebody else to do it and appreciates the type of feedback that was given, because it really helped out to avoid basically the waste of time from one side and the other side as well. But there is something more to it that we need probably to discuss a bit further, that goes into how we think about our lives in general. And the thing about this is, how do we consider ourselves? Are we diseases machine that basically live to die because at some point our body stops responding to the ability of just surviving in the world, and so it goes out of balance completely? Or do we consider ourselves machines that are as perfect as it gets to survive in a different environment for such a long amount of time, that might even go to 100 years, and it's probably going to get longer and longer and longer. There is a tiny difference, because if you start thinking about us in terms of diseases, you're going to find yourself trying to basically solve the disease itself. Sometimes in Western medicine, it's even just a symptom. I don't mean to say this is that in this case, but it's just one way to go. On the other hand, you might just consider that we are as perfect, and all we're trying to do is better ourselves, make our performances better, find ourselves in a situation in which we tend to exist, to survive, and ultimately to live better, because surviving and living is two different, very, very different things. And if the approach of the people around us is disease treating, symptoms managing, and not machine optimization, well, there's something to say. And so, in a world that's gonna be dominated soon by machines, how do we feel about it? How do we feel not optimizing what we have and just trying to solve the issues that come at hand over and over and over and over? Think about it. It's a perspective shift that we need to do. And that's also why mom has been gathering lots of interest around how to make ourselves better into a future-proof body and mind. Neurofeedback is probably going to be part of a bigger scheme of things where, it's going to be first gone to hand to top managers, performers, people that require that level of bettering themselves, and that are problem aware, and probably even solution aware, but they just don't know how to get that all into a comprehensive solution. And so they're gonna try to do some of those things. So it's also Dave Asprey, the father of neurofeedback, he's trying to do in the US at his centers. And by the way, this is not medical information, because I'm a dog, and also mom doesn't have them as strong as they and as serious as they might be. It's just what the market is looking like right now, and what's probably also a market opportunity in Europe as well. When it comes to just starting it out, we need to see the pot of gold that's just offered by your minds and bodies, made better, which is probably the best investment ever. But if the operators in the field don't see it, it's going to be quite hard to just grasp it. And so I don't know if in my short life as a dog, I will be able to just see that happening, but I hope for mom she will, because there's just so many things that can be done, and so many things with the change of the approach. And the thing about this is, when you change the way of seeing life in general as everything is good the way it is, we just have some bugs in the system that if solved, they could make ourselves better. And not sometimes a bug happens and it's just a whole fucking problem. Usually the machine is not broken per se. It's how we manage it that breaks it. And nevertheless, it might be just broken, but there are ways to fix it. For all others, which is the most people in the world, we're very lucky, by the way. Oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God, there are deers. Oh God. Oh my God. Oh, this is how, I'm talking about how beautiful life can be sometimes, and we find ourselves some deers on our path. Isn't it amazing? Oh God. Okay. So, I was saying, it really just depends on how you see the world, and frankly, there's no way out of that. Either you decide to see the potential of everything, or just you're trying to fix what's not working based on the fact that everything is shit, and we try to do our best to survive. Frankly and honestly, your own perspective. As a dog, I'd like to say that our category has already picked which side to be. Have you? Sending you lots of kisses, hugs, and a bit of barks.